This is the Reporter's Notebook, hosted by Elaine Shane.
Welcome to this entry in the DTN Reporter's Notebook. DTN Senior Ag Meteorologist Bryce Anderson joins us today as we look for the outlook for the spring planting season. Bryce, what are the keys to planting conditions this season?
Well, Elaine, the evolution of El Niño, that is still a very strong event as we're visiting here, is going to be a big focal point, I think. And with El Niño going on, the water temperatures in the Pacific are still going to be above average through the spring season. And that means that we're going to see continuation of storm systems kind of crossing the country, focusing over the southern tier of states and leading to, El Niño's influence and kind of dominance. And along with that, there is a longer-term trend of at some point in the Corn Belt seeing above average rainfall during the planting season. We've had several years where we've had some very rainy periods, and I think that that's going to be another feature that we have during the season this year.
You said there's a chance for some of those heavy rain events. What are the chances like?
I think those possibilities are quite high, actually. There's been a longer-term trend of very heavy rainfall causing issues. We've seen that in, I believe, 5 of the past 6 seasons. The only season in particular that we didn't have any sort of wet weather problem was in 2012, and that's when it got so dry during the heart of the season. But I think that we are going to see that again this year. The Midwest is in line for that. The highest risk is kind of anywhere in the region. We saw that potential. And then with El Niño, you look at the southern part of the country, the area from, say, central and southern Texas, east through the Delta and the deep south as areas, too, that we could have some issues.
What about the southern plains in particular with the in the wheat belt there?
I think that the winter wheat is actually going to have a pretty good time of it coming out of dormancy with moisture that is normal to above normal. And in the prime wheat growing areas, I think that that's where we're going to see the benefits of that. Now, I know that in parts of the southern plains that there were some problems with too much moisture at planting time this last year. But when you look at the majority of the wheat growing areas, taking in Kansas, Oklahoma, the Texas Panhandle, into eastern Colorado, southwestern Nebraska, those areas are looking quite favorable. And then in the soft red winter wheat areas, southern Illinois into the Ohio Valley, they've also come through the winter in pretty good shape. Maybe a little bit of excessive rainy conditions earlier on, but right now it appears that they're going to be in pretty decent condition coming out of winter.
What about California? What's going to happen there?
I think that there is some drought relief going on in the far west. I don't think that the moisture is going to be enough to cause a real easing of their drought situation. I know that the water quality, the water department in California has extended the drought emergency, and I think that that is a good piece of judgment on their part. Snowpack in the Sierras has not been too much above normal. And there is minimal long-term benefit, and I think that's a big key in analyzing the far west water situation.
Thanks, Bryce.
You're welcome.
With Bryce Anderson, I'm Elaine Shane, and that's today's entry in the DTN Reporter's Notebook. Thanks for joining us, and have a good evening from DTN.
This has been the Reporter's Notebook from the DTN Progressive Farmer Newsroom.